Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. How are you? I'm great. Thanks for asking. I have so much to say today. And so I'm just going to say it like from the chair. I know that's not super exciting, but sometimes you just have a lot to say and you're the people I want to share it with. So let me put my phone on a stand and we're going to chat. Let's start off first with it being Israel's birthday and that we went to the water park today. It's like a small little water park we have in town. I started taking the kids I nannied for years and years ago. You can get like a family pass for the whole summer. So I would take them. And then when I had Israel and I had my friends, a little girl that I would take care of, I'd take them. And then we really haven't gone much, a whole lot, because after that, I opened up a daycare and just had too many kids. I hired somebody to work with me, but we didn't have a vehicle to carry that many children, nor do I think it would have been safe because most of my children were very, very young that were in the daycare. So all that to say, we went to the water park today. And here's what I have to say. I don't know if you know this about me, but since I was, 12, 13 years old, top of my legs covered in spider veins, not just like, oh, there's a little something there, like, hello, you're covered in spider veins. And so I always have been, I don't wear shorts. You will never see me in shorts, but I do wear bathing suits, interestingly enough. And I do think about it when I'm in public, and then I sort of lose, my inhibitions, and I just go, you know what? Going to a water park is the most freeing body image feeling to me. You would think it would be very exposing, because it is. Like, let's talk about a lot of things. When it comes to the water park or like a swimming pool, who decided it was okay to pretty much walk around in our underwear or have your entire backside just hanging out of your clothes? Like, who decided that was a thing? Or like the whole front side? We've all just said, yeah, go for it. And then what I love about people at the water park and what I love about going to the water park is it helps you to really go, you know what? I'm here to have a good time. I'm not seeing anybody perfect here. These are just people going and having some fun, enjoying the sun, enjoying the water, enjoying time with their children. And you get to just forget about your insecurities and forget about your don't look at me. You know what? I had my spider veins rocking. My varicose vein after having my girls was probably popping out of the back of my right leg. Who knows? And I'm white as could be on my legs, like see-through white. Mix that in with the purpley, spider veins, and you got yourself a great cocktail right there. So I just love the whole idea of being free and just going, I don't even care. And we had a great time. It started out a little rocky. The girls were a bit hesitant, mainly just two of them, but there was just a little hesitation. But then once we got going, it was great. We were on the lazy river. We went to the wave pool. There's like different areas for the younger kids, slides, and have you heard of the toilet bowl? You go around this thing like that, and then you fall out the bottom. I'm not really ready for the kids to go on that because even when I've done it, it's very disorienting. The boys have just learned how to swim, and I would just feel better that they waited a little bit until they were stronger swimmers. We really just don't swim a whole lot. So they're probably a bit late on the learning to swim, but we are going swimming quite a bit lately. So they have been able to work on it a ton. And I can't even remember how I learned how to swim. How did you learn how to swim? All I know is I just knew one day. And then I went to a girls' camp in Maine between 6th and 7th grade. It was 7 weeks. And you take swimming, and I took canoeing, I took sailboating, horseback riding, and riflery. I probably should have taken tennis because that would have been a ton of fun. And I really enjoy tennis. Oh, and I did a theater class. And so then we did a bit like theater show at the end. And it was an all girls camp. So you play different parts. And I was in my bathing suit in that play, just out there for the world. And I didn't care. I was just having a good time. So all that to say, I love the water park for the very reason of being completely exposed and yet totally free. Have you experienced this? Let me know in the comments. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about that I've actually been thinking about forever, I feel like, meaning like, the last year, 6 months to the last year. And Marcus and I talk about this, and actually we were just talking about it with my family the other day when my brother was in town, that we as human beings are not meant to multitask. But raise your hand. How many of you try? Yes. And I have noticed the effects of multitasking and something else I'm going to talk about very strongly as a mom, as I'm momming, as I'm homemaking, as I'm YouTubing, all of that, that we really are not made to multitask. Here's what it is. This is really what goes on. Your task switching. And there's a whole book about this too, I think in the homeschool world. What is it called? You guys are going to know it, so you can tell me in the comments. I've read it, but Mark and I were talking about it long before I had read that book. And I've realized that I love to do everything at the same time, but really I'm not doing everything at the same time. I'm just switching tasks. And I spend a lot of my time going, hold on, let me just do one more thing. Hold on, just one more second. Yep, when I'm done with this, hold on, I'm going to do this. And I always think I can do all the things all the time. Years ago, I had heard about block scheduling, where you have a really focused time where all you're working on is one thing, whether it be homemaking or homeschooling or working from home, which I do, or I don't know, stuffs, whatever your categories might be. And really setting that time, and it doesn't have to be a certain amount of time, like maybe you only need 2 hours for one task or an hour for a task or whatever it is, but you only do that. Well, in the last few months, I've really started to notice that I'm even struggling to, for instance, watch a YouTube show while I'm doing the dishes. I have noticed how slow I have gotten at getting those done. I would always put on like a little YouTube something while I was folding laundry, and it made it take like 3 times longer. And sometimes that's fine if I'm in a super chill whatever, especially if I'm, all the kids are in bed, or it's really early in the morning and I just want to not think really, it's okay. But during the day, especially when my children are present, I need to be present. And I can easily get distracted by YouTube or, doing work during school time or doing this during that, because it's just 1 minute, just hold on, I just gotta do it for a second. And then it never ends up that way. And I can tell that there's some frustration with some of my children more than others. Like they feel the effects of one, not getting the instant gratification of whatever it is they're asking for right away, which, hello, that's life. That part is fine. But I do want to be present, and I do want to be available, within boundaries and within healthy boundaries. But really focusing my time and not allowing myself to be distracted is beautiful. And I talked about a couple of videos ago how I do my what's it called, Sabbath Rest, where I take 24-ish hours and just set aside stuff so I can really focus. And I've noticed during that time that I feel like my time with God is much more effortless. Like praying just seems easier, and I don't feel this, I got to the point in the past few months where I thought, do I have ADHD? I can't focus on anything. I feel like sitting down and watching a show or a movie is just like torture to me. My mind is running with so many things that have to get done. And I think part of the argument that is easy for me to have, and maybe it's for you to have, is that if I don't do it, who's gonna do it? I'm the person doing it. We kind of did this interesting disservice to women, maybe. It's good, and it has this bad side too, that women can do anything and you go after your dreams and go after your passions, but yet at the same time, we still have a lot of times this like desire for homemaking and desire for keeping a home and raising children. Maybe we're gonna homeschool. My goodness, we're doing so many things. And how do we prioritize what thing is important, and how do we do all the things? Well, first of all, we're humans and we can't do all the things, but I really have found, and I would love to have this discussion with you in the comments, that the more I try to do at one time, not the more that I do. I'm someone that does like to stay busy, I will say that. But the more that I try to do at one time, when I think I'm going to work on YouTube stuff while I'm homeschooling the kids, while I'm cleaning the floor, while I'm letting the dog out and making sourdough bread, no. First of all, I lose patience. That's where I really find that I lack patience. And then I might say things that I don't mean, or I might do things that I don't mean, or I feel really anxious and I get all like, ah. And I don't think that's fair to my family, because I'm doing it to them. Like, they didn't ask for that. But I am putting so much emphasis lately on gaining strong mental health. We're not taught those things. We're not taught what do we do when we feel stressed? What do we do when we feel anxious or depressed? We're just taught that this is what you have. And so I know for me, multitasking, really task switching, is very hard on me mentally, very hard on me physically, like fatiguing. I feel my brain, I can feel it in my brain cells. Anybody relate to this? Like I can feel my heart just beating faster, and I'm getting like visibly frustrated, and I start getting down on myself. I can't get all the things done. There's just too much to do. Yes, there's too much to do because you are doing so many things. So here's kind of what I've been working on. And I always like to caveat everything with, I am not perfect. So if you didn't know, Meghan is a human being and I fail a lot and I'm not perfect. So in my quest to find more peace in my life, to have less anxiety, to be more present with my family, to do better at the things that I am doing, whether it be homeschooling, whether it be working, whether it be homemaking, whether it be relationships, whatever those are, I need for myself, and what I've been practicing is trying to be very there in that time. And I still struggle with that because I still have those moments where I think, it's just one more thing. There's just one more, just hold on one second. It's only gonna take me a second. It never just takes a second, right? Never. It's such false advertising that we offer up, But I'm noticing more and more that I'm finding joy in the day-to-day where I've kind of lost some of that joy because I'm feeling overwhelmed, right? You lose the joy of doing life. The things that I remember years ago when Israel was really little, or even Ezra was really little, it's like the things that I really enjoyed, I find I don't enjoy them as much, and that makes me sad. And so it's going, why don't I? Because I've tried to do everything all at the same time. And so, for instance, for me, I am very, very distracted by my phone because that's how I do all my work. I do all my recording on my phone, editing on my phone, comments, checking analytics, doing any kind of email stuff. It's all on my phone. I do very little on the computer. And so that constantly have my phone in my hand. And so while I have that Saturday night to Sunday night, like Sabbath, I still have to find the balance in the daytime. And I'm thinking that I'm finding it, and I'm getting more excited and more excited. So for instance, today, I thought about bringing you guys along for our little fun time at the water park. And I just kept thinking about it, and I go, you know what? That would make it so not enjoyable for me and our family. Why? Because I'd be busy. I'd be distracted while I'm trying to have fun. And I thought that's so silly. And so instead, I didn't even bring it with me in the car. I left it completely at home, left all the things, and just had a great time on that lazy river and in the wave pool and hanging out with the kids and hearing how they were enjoying things, So I really felt like that was a fantastic win. And that's part of why I thought I really need to talk about this. But then during the day, trying to set aside certain time, like this is when I'm going to do this, or this is when I'm going to do that. And I've noticed with homeschooling that if I just throw my phone to the side and try to do sourdough, like maybe not during school time, and give all of my attention to that, I'm so much more peaceful. I can think better. I'm more clear-minded. And I have a feeling that you may feel that same way. Like, do you feel the anxiety of maybe you're on your phone a bunch and somebody's trying to talk to you and you just feel kind of irritated, like, I'm trying to do something. Now, obviously there's time to do that. But when it's those constant moments throughout the day and we just feel like, don't I ever get a break? Doesn't anybody just leave me alone? But especially if you have children, they still need you. And that's the season that we're in. It's just made it so much more, I'm so much more available and peaceful not perfect, because I forget. And I've actually had a conversation with my children, and I've tried to talk to them like, haven't you noticed, I'm trying to use my phone less, and I still have to work on my phone. So they know, like, I am having work time right here, and I tell them up front so that they don't have to wonder and question, like, why are you on your phone? I'm working right now, so you guys are going to play. This is your playtime. And that has just been a beautiful thing. And interestingly enough, by not multitasking or task switching, I actually feel like I get more done. And I think it's because I can be really focused on that task and really focused on that block or that thing, whatever it is. It goes against all the things ingrained in me that I have to do it all at the same time to get it all done. And then I think, why can't I get it all done? Because you're doing it all at the same time. That's why. Stop it. So I just wonder sometimes if we sabotage ourselves from the things that are important to us, and by completing tasks or by being able to really focus, by trying to do everything at the same time, being distracted by social media and emails and information overload. It's just always there. Everything we want to know. Oh, hold on a second. Let me Google it. Oh, hold on a second. Let me look it up. Hey, do you know about da-da-da-da? Yeah, let me look it up. And it's exhausting, and I'm just exhausted. So I would really love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments. I think that would be very, very interesting. And if you've noticed by, freeing up your time and focusing it on whatever vein you are in at that moment, how that's really helped you. So that's kind of my brain thinking lately, and trying to just keep working it every day. How easy it is to try something for an hour or a whole day, even a week, and then go, it's not working. This is not working, and I don't appreciate it. And then you give up and you go back to your old ways and you think, it didn't fix the problem. But this is one of those things I keep tweaking seriously every single day. Every day I go, whoop, Megan, you goofed up right there. You really goofed it. And I can say I'm looking at today with a water park situation, like I didn't even bring my phone in the car. Because sometimes, I'm just along for the ride. I'm just the passenger. I'm not driving. And I thought, I could bring it, but why? Just be totally there. And it was beautiful. I loved it. And I'm so grateful for it. So I'm going to appreciate that moment and then go, okay, what moment can I take next to grow in? Because it's like a muscle, a strengthening muscle that we really focus on things. Now, obviously, if you have true ADHD, that's a whole nother story. And, do what you got to do for that. But I'm digging this new kind of thinking. And I think it's going to be a lifetime of retraining my brain. Hopefully that's not a lifetime. That would really stink. That's too long. But retraining my brain and my habits and my thought patterns and my routines in order to really make the most of it all. Listen, we're going to do life. Let's do it up. Let's do it up. Okay, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Tonight, I've got music practice at church, and I had to tell you. So do you guys know, have I told you this, that I have always wanted to take opera lessons? I do not sing opera, but so opera lessons, I feel like, or opera, uses a different part of the voice that for me is very at least I think it is. Now at church, I use more of my chest voice. I'm not a big fan of my head voice. The up here, no, I don't really like that so much. So that is how I was trained. When I was younger, I took vocal lessons for several years, and it was always, who will buy my lavender, my sweet? And it's just, it's pretty, and other people way better, but that part of my voice is just not my favorite. It's not as strong. And I would always sing, what's the song I'm singing tonight? I'm calling on the God of Jacob. That's called your chest voice. And that's where I'm really strong and I can belt it out. But there's this other part that's very, and it kind of makes you think it's your head voice, but yet it's not. So all that to tell you, in town, we have this college community program that they offer opera lessons. And I just messaged them to make sure, because it didn't say that. They offered vocal and some different instruments and stuff. for the community, but it didn't specifically say opera. So I messaged them, they said they did. And so now I need to go and just like do my application. I've been wanting to do this for years, and it's time to stop sitting on it, Meghan, and do it. And I'm gonna have to make a block in my day now to practice my opera lessons, but I am like stupid excited. I think it's going to be such an adventure, and I haven't had lessons in something in so long. So this will be a ton of fun. I'm really, really excited. Okay, that's my excitement for the day. Also, the bug people are coming to spray our house again. We've had cicada killers. We've had the centipede hairy things. We've had some spiders, some ants. They just spray. They come quarterly. And I thought we were good. And I don't know, maybe the storms and the July-ness just brought all the extra buggy bugs to our house. They built this, we thought it were ants. Marcus mowed the lawn. About an hour later, we go out, and I'm talking like a mound. So here's the driveway, and there was this mound. And we're like, wow, they built that so fast. We thought it was the ants. And then we saw the cicada killer, which is like this huge waspy looking thing digging around in there. I didn't know they could work that fast. And they're very docile, like they don't attack, but they're everywhere, and they're not really enjoyable for us. And so we always like to say, the bugs are amazing. We need bugs, we need insects. That's great, but not at our house. No, thank you. Nature is for you, not for us. And so they're gonna come early. They were supposed to come like in 2.5 weeks. I called them today. I said, please come. And they said, we can. So Tuesday they're gonna come, and I'm really grateful for that. Let me tell you, and they're so nice. So hopefully we can get rid of all of that. And that's it, my friends. Chipotle and Chick-fil-A tonight. Izzy's birthday, yes. And Olive Garden was had on Monday for Zion's birthday. We went to the water park. We went to Barnes & Noble. Got some we got toys at Barnes & Noble. Not books. We got toys. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Hope that you're doing well. Thanks for hanging out with me. I guess I'll wrap this up, tie it with a pretty little bow, and call it done. Yeah? Yeah. You take care. Thanks for hanging out, and I will talk with you soon. Bye, friend.